lose everything tomorrow, my money, my businesses, my network, everything, there is one skill that I would use to win it all back, and that's sales. I will show you how and why sales can fundamentally shape-shift your life, because that's what it did for me. That's what it did for people that I care about, and that's what it can do for you. Sales is power. Sales is the art of persuasion. Sales is getting someone to do something by telling them something. This is what sales essentially is. You use your words and your communication skills to get someone to do something. In most cases, to buy your product. But this is what sales is. Sales is the art of persuasion. And there's a reason why every single salesman I know seems to have a better life than people in other job positions. Why is that? Because you have a very good feedback loop with yourself. You know when you're good and you know when you're bad, because you sell or you don't. It's very black and white. You'll be much better with women, because if you can sell your value via selling a product, you can also sell your value to women. It's as simple as it is. If you know how to talk, the world is at your hands. Because being a persuasive person is a cheat code to life. That's why I decided to make this video. Because if I would have to go back in time and I could only give myself one skill, it would be sales. Whenever someone asks me, Ben, I'm 16, 17 years old, I don't know what to do, I want the life you have, I tell them, start with sales. My own brother asked me what he should do, how he can become a better person. Do you know what the first thing was that I recommended to him? Get a sales job. I'm dead serious. Because sales fundamentally changes your life. You are never not selling. As stupid as it sounds, you will always be selling something. You will either sell yourself, you will sell yourself in personal relationships, you will sell a product to make money, or you will sell your value to the world. There is always an element of selling in every single daily interaction. So if you master sales, your life will improve. Because if you see sales just as a job description, yeah, of course, nothing will change. But if you understand the power that being able to persuade has, being able to hypnotize people with your words and to get them to do something without going into the negative 48 laws of power direction. But if you have the ability to command action with the way you talk, then you will have a much better life. And I'm not telling you this because I think it works. I'm telling you because I know it works. Me, myself, imagine Ben at 16 years old walking up to restaurants and selling them these little QR codes. Because that's what I did. This is what my first job was when I was a 16-year-old kid. I used to cold call restaurants, go there, have a sales pitch for my product, which was these printable QR codes in the plastic. It was these little things that stand on the tables when you go to a restaurant where you can scan, see the menu, give a review, etc. This was essentially the product I was selling. And do you think it was easy on a cold German winter to call a restaurant and then drive there in my parents' car and convince them that this product is what they need? No. Do you think that everywhere I went, they were like, yes, I really need it? No. I received shit tons of rejection. But what sales did, it supercharged my growth. There is nothing better to boost your personal progress than sales. Every single salesman told me this, that since he started with sales, his life improved massively. This is no coincidence. So if you're not happy with your communication skills, with your job, with the money you're making, learn and use sales. Take an extra job where you sell something. If you have a business, go into the sales role. Because believe me, it will fundamentally shape-shift your life. Even today, I still put myself in situations where I have to sell because I believe in the effectiveness of it. If you know how to sell, you will never ever be broke again. I know that I could lose everything. The watches, the cars, the beautiful apartments, villas, the trips, even all the people I know, I could lose all of them and I could still sell. I could still get a very, very well-paid sales job and do more than fine. And this is confidence. This is something that no one can ever take away from me because I know how to talk and I know how to command raw action with my words. And I know for a fact that I could make 5 figures per month easily with any sales job. And this is confidence, my friend. This is what you need. So go out there and master sales, because whenever I have a discussion with a person of the other gender, I always realize how similar it is to sales. Because there's always an objection, there's a real objection, there's a fake objection, there's a goal, and there's the path of selling to this goal. Look at it. Look at it in your life. There is so many parallels to a sales call. And once you realize this, you can get better at it and in turn get better at life. A big thing that people get wrong is thinking that sales is only business. Because you sell yourself in job interviews. You sell your vision to your team. You sell your value to the beautiful girl on a date. And you sell your value to the world every single day. Even by doing Instagram stories. You sell your value to the world. You want to show the world that you bring value to it. Me doing this YouTube video is selling to you that you can learn something from me. That implementing my advice will make your life better. I'm trying to sell you this right now. If I go for a coffee with a girl, I'm trying to sell her that I am the man and I can make her life better and I can make her happier. Essentially what it is. And it's true. But there is a smart way and a stupid way to learning sales. Because reading tons of sales books, watching all the courses, studying all the YouTube videos, it's not it. I broke it down to a 3-step plan that you can take. Number 1 is learn how to listen. This is so important because I myself, in my late teenage years, I was someone who always talked and talked and talked and talked. The chance of finding me, observing the situation, being quiet, compared to bubbly talking and asking tons of questions, those were bad odds. I was always over talking and asking stupid questions. I was this bubbly conversation type. And once I sat down and learned how to listen and how to use the insight that I get from listening, I became a better persuader, a better seller, and it showed itself in my life. Because if you look at the Ben from 6 years ago, we're totally different people. Not only from the looks and from the lifestyle, but essentially from the way how we talk, what we achieve with our words. And being able to use your words is a superpower. And that is what selling is. I find it pretty interesting that I know people that are really not that interesting, that are much less interesting than me, but they have much better success with women. Why is that? Because they are a better salesman. Believe me, that sales is everything. And if you can master this process, your life will get better. I know I'm repeating this line, but it's just so important. I told my own brother to get into sales. He told me his life got better. He is now driving a nice company car and living a very free life compared to 3 or 4 months ago because he learned sales. There's a reason why I'm giving you this insight, because it is true. The second point is practice. Regardless of how good your listening skills are, you need to practice. Practice, 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 practice. I've had thousands of sales calls. I've pitched products thousands of times. I've pitched ideas thousands of times. I've sold thousands of times. I've failed thousands of times. I've rewatched my own sales calls and my own social interactions and improved and took the feedback from it. That's the next point. You need to get the reps in, and then you need to not just get the reps in and be like a monkey, sell, 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 sell. You need to get better. You need to analyze the way you talk. You need to analyze when you have a weird way of pitching, when you make too many pauses. You need to analyze that stuff. And you need to get better. Because this is what separates someone that dominates his life from someone that's doing okay. This is what separates a great salesman from a mediocre salesman. The great salesman will rewatch every single sales call he has, analyze it, write down his 3 biggest mistakes, and improve them. Because if you improve 1% or even 0.5% with every rewatched sales call, you can just do the math. You will gain hundreds of percents per year, and you will get exponentially better. So build feedback loops. It's in general, it's a secret for life. But in this regard, for sales, that is my piece of advice that I would give to you. Listen 80% and talk 20%. The biggest mistake that sales guys do is that they just talk. Talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. I notice it now when I have sales calls for some startup softwares or something where they want to sell me something. I'm just like, what are you talking about? I do not care. A good salesman will ask the right questions, will hear what you have to say, and will then tell you exactly what you need to hear. He will find out every single pain point you have, why this pain point hurts your life, and then he will give you the tailor-made solution and sell you the benefits, not the feature of it. That's another important advice. That takes us to the next point of my 3 ways of getting good at sales. Is selling the benefits, not the features. You want to sell and explain how the decision that this person will make will improve their life, not what they get to do it. Doesn't make any sense. And you want to get okay with rejection in everything. With dating, in sales calls, when you make a pitch to your business partners, whatever it is, you need to be okay with rejection. Who cares? I've been rejected thousands of times. Thousands of times. And I'm okay with it. It's fine. Either you sell or you learn. There's no shame in not selling something and getting better at all. The only shame is if you fail to sell and then you sit down and you get depressed and you just stop. Or you stop giving yourself feedback because you think you're shit anyway. Yeah, then you probably are. Learn human psychology. How to Win Friends and Influence People is one of the greatest books in this field that I read when I was 15, and I have read again and again and again and again. And you should read it as well, because it's so important. How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. It's such an important book. And anyone that is even slightly interested in human psychology should study this book. Sales compounds. You can build anything. You can build an agency. You can build a service. You can build a movement. And you will never, ever, ever have money problems again. If you can sell. Every company in this on this planet wants good salesmen. Where do the car dealerships pay out the biggest bonuses? Is it HR? Is it marketing? Or is it sales? Where is it the easiest to get a commission-based job? Commission-based sales job. This would be my number one job that I would do, regardless if it's real estate, cars, watches, whatever it is. I'd go and find a job where I get a commission and I'd sell the shit out of it. Because I just laid down my secret of how I sold 1,000 things to thousands of people. And it's all the same. It's all the same. I've also been on thousands of first dates where I sold myself. I've had thousands of sales calls. All of this follows a line. And now you know the line with this video. No AI will ever replace human connection. And sales is essentially human connection, and no AI will ever take that away from us. So, sell.